Trixie, and one sentence you're gonna find yourself saying very often when you learn a foreign language and talk to native speakers is, I don't understand. In German, that would be ich verstehe nicht or ich verstehe das nicht. Sometimes you might add Entschuldigung, excuse me, or können Sie das bitte wiederholen? Can you please repeat that? But that isn't really relevant for today's video. Instead, the focus of today's video lies on verstehen, to understand, because it's by far not the only German verb that you can express confusion with. In fact, I found 9 German verbs in total that mean to understand. And it highly depends on the context, whether or not they can be used. As a German learner, it's your right to be confused. And it would be very unfair if expressing that you're confused you. So I decided to make this video, explaining how to say, I don't understand, using other verbs than verstehen only. First of all, it's true. Verstehen is the most common and most versatile way of saying to understand in German. It's the only verb you can express with whether or not you understand a language. Ich verstehe Deutsch, aber ich kann es nicht fließend sprechen. You can use it for so many things. People's attitudes, math, grammar rules, historical contexts, as well as for the sense of life itself. Ich verstehe den Sinn des Lebens nicht. Ich verstehe dich nicht can mean I don't understand your behavior. I don't understand the language that you're speaking. Or simply, sorry, I don't hear you. Making verstehen definitely a verb that's worth learning. However, the fact that it is so versatile also makes it a bit boring and stale. Which is why I want to present one of my favorite German verbs to you. Begreifen. Begreifen means to understand as well. As you can see, it contains greifen, which means to reach out for something. It's like you reach out for knowledge. You try to grab it and then you own it. And this picture of you trying to grasp knowledge is something I really like. I find it poetic. You know, I'd consider it more beautiful and fitting than verstehen when it comes to the understanding of life, mentalities and ideas. Ist es nicht verrückt? Millionen von Sternen, die Größe des Universums, das kann man doch gar nicht begreifen. It's also a bit stronger and more firm when it comes to personal decisions and feelings. For example, saying, du liebst mich nicht. Ich hab's begriffen. You know, after being rejected is much more intense and sincere than saying, ich habe es verstanden. It's more dramatic. It carries more emotions, is what I want to say, I guess. Maybe that explains why it's not the best choice when it comes to neutral contexts, in which you really just want to express that you weren't able to comprehend something. Imagine a German teacher asking their student whether or not they understood what they just talked about. Hast du das verstanden? Is a normal question. Hast du das begriffen, however, seems impolite. It comes across slightly harsh and disparaging. So I think begreifen can be both beautiful and ugly. And for some reason it cannot be used for, oh, I didn't catch that, by the way. Other than verstehen, it's a head or heart thing, never just an ear thing. Another rather slangy alternative to begreifen and verstehen is kapieren. I'd say that kapieren cannot be said in a nice way. If you use it for someone else, it implies that the other person is at least somewhat stupid. Oliver, keine Frau freut sich über deine Dickpics auf Instagram. Wann kapierst du das endlich? And if you use it for yourself, it resonates with a lot of frustration. Warum gibt es im Deutschen 3 Artikel? Ich kapiere das einfach nicht. Together with verstehen, it's the only German verb that you can use to say understood or got it? Also ich finde meinen Kanal echt ziemlich cool.
Nein, deine Videos sind furchtbar, verstanden? Es geht den Leuten nur um das hier, kapiert?
Mein Herz? Das Herz, das ich in meinen Content stecke?
Ach, du begreifst auch gar nichts.
The next words I want to mention are all part of German youth language. First up, raffen. Raffen can be used to say to gather a curtain or clothes. Sich aufraffen means to pull yourself together. But following the golden thread of this video, it can also mean to understand. Again, it has a quite derogatory connotation though. Raffst du das nicht? Is a very rude way of asking a person whether they got something. Ich raff das nicht! On the other hand, once again implies frustration. Either with the complexity of the thing that you're trying to understand or with your own perceived incompetence.
Warum schaut ihr euch Trixis Videos an? Ich raff das nicht.
Then there are rallen and schnellen. so viele Mathe-Hausaufgaben und ich schnall nicht, wie das geht. Ich rall nicht, wie man sich für Mathe interessieren kann. While schnallen most likely derives from die Schnalle, the buckle, so you kind of strap knowledge onto you. I couldn't find much about the origin of rallen, other than the fact that rallen with the capital R is also a group of birds. Familie der Kranichvögel. Überklasse Kiefermäuler.
Wow, thank you for this vitally important piece of information.
You're welcome. Endlich peilst du, wie lehrreich mein Kanal ist. Leading me to the next word, you heard it, peilen. Its first meaning is to take a bearing on something. But you may have guessed it, it's also a way to say to understand.
What a surprise.
If you find yourself struggling with a certain German grammar topic and nothing seems to make sense anymore, instead of ich verstehe das nicht, try this. Ich peile gar nichts mehr. Another option would be ich blicke das nicht, with blicken literally meaning to look. So it's like I don't see through this anymore. Lastly, some good news. Yay! The last verb on my list looks and sounds very English. Checken. Despite its original meaning to check something, like in to check one's emails, it can also be used to say that you don't understand something. Careful here though. Einchecken, verchecken, abchecken. These verbs all describe very different things. It's only checken, okay? Dann lass mich mal deine Ergebnisse checken. Das ist ja alles falsch. Ich sag doch, ich check Algebra nicht. Wie soll man mit Buchstaben rechnen können, ey? Alright, Rabbits. These have been 9 verbs meaning to understand in German. And I hope that you...
Wait a moment. Fine, 9 verbs, but 6 of them were useless teenage slang. Why would I be interested to know that these words exist?
Hey! First of all, yeah, these words are most commonly used by kids, teenagers, and young adults. Which makes sense, because when you go to school, when you grow up, that's the time where you feel most confused about how the world works. It's only natural that you start inventing words to express this confusion and frustration. And that's why I see a certain beauty, poetry even, in this rebellious teenage vibe that these words have. Yes, maybe people over 30 or 40 don't use these words anymore. Maybe they find them childish or pathetic, but that's their problem. You know, personally, I believe that we don't necessarily understand more the older we grow. It's just that we stop admitting it at some point when we don't get something. Out of pride or embarrassment, we stop asking questions. So in my opinion, there is no shame in knowing and using these slangy words. Expressing your confusion in the most frustrated, childlike, pouting way. Even if your teenage years lie far behind you. Because sometimes that's what it takes to move on. To keep learning. To grasp for knowledge. Begreifen. Remember? Okay. Wort zum Sonntag. So, habt ihr alles verstanden? Konntet ihr begreifen, wie vielseitig die deutsche Sprache ist? I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If so, please leave a like and tell me in the comments what you think. Subscribe to Don't Trust the Rabbit for more videos like this one, and if you want to support me even a bit more, you can also find me on Patreon. I would really appreciate your help. Now I wish you all a wonderful day, never stop learning, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!